It's the thing that most people would fear, to be home, asleep in your bed, and have intruders come in and do the unthinkable.
I felt like a hand being placed on my mouth. I started telling him, please don't kill me, please don't kill me.
An attack in the night.
I was like really freaking out. I was like, what's going on? What's going on?
A mother murdered.
Looked like two ghosts had just committed the ultimate crime.
He lived to tell police a harrowing story. Was it true?
He's the only one who survived. He's practically unharmed.
They treating you like a suspect or a witness?
They are treating me like a suspect.
Now, an undercover plan to solve the mystery.
Are you stepping out of the car right now?
Who was the real mastermind?
We all stopped breathing for about 10 seconds.
I wanted to be wrong. I really wanted to be wrong.
The American dream. So many of us want it. The loving family. The honest job. The home you can afford. The idea that you can start over here. And in this new country, that better life will be yours. This is a story about that dream, about a family that worked for it, won it, and then what happened to them.
Now, what emergency?
This wasn't part of anyone's dream.
Someone just robbed our house. They broke in. They tied me and my mom up.
How could it happen in this safe, gated community? In this home they'd worked so hard to have?
Is everybody okay?
I don't know. They just beat me up. I don't know where my mom is.
And who deserved it less than this woman?
My mom brought the heart to the family.
Ryan Gurgis was the baby of the family, spoiled rotten by his mother, Ariette.
We couldn't function without my mom. My mom was like the chef in the household, counselor.
The full-service mom.
Oh yeah, she did it all. Yeah, she was really, really nice, sweet lady.
She was one of those mothers who showed her love through food. Her cakes were legendary, making every birthday that much more special, says her older son, Richard.
She made this really good upside-down pineapple cake. It was phenomenal. I always remember cake and ice cream at the birthdays.
Growing up, Richard was inseparable from his mom. Was she like the other moms that your friends had?
No, I think she was a bit more on the conservative side.
Conservative because of where she came from. Ariette Gurgis was born in Egypt and then came to the U.S. when she was 29 years old. Her family settled in Northern California. Ariette led a comfortable, all-American life. But cultural ties are strong, and in 1980, Ariette was called back to Egypt to meet a nice young man named Magdi.
When my mom went out there and ended up meeting him, she really liked him.
Years later, she would reminisce about how their romance blossomed.
In Egypt, you really can't just go out like on dates and stuff. So they went together to the movie theater, and then when it got real dark, my dad reached over and gave her like a kiss in the cheek.
Which was a very big deal.
Yeah, for her it was. Yeah, I think that almost sealed the deal.
It wasn't the American way of falling in love, but Ariette seemed happy. She and Magdi married just 2 weeks later in Egypt and moved together to California. In 1981, Richard was born. 5 years later came Ryan. Richard was delighted to have a brother to play with and to watch over. So you were his protector, big brother?
Yeah, I always kind of keep an eye on him. I love my brother with all my heart.
How'd you and your brother get along?
Like best friends. I always looked up to him.
Their dad was the classic hard-working immigrant. Magdi earned his license to become a respiratory therapist, then put in endless hours to keep a roof over his family's head and clothes on their backs.
He came from a really poor country, so for him, it was like to come here, he was like working real hard to try to build things up and try to establish a life.
Magdi emphasized education, teaching both his sons math at an early age. He strove and saved to help them all prosper. And they felt he would do anything to keep his family safe.
He didn't want your family to get pushed around.
Not at all. Not at all.
It took many years of hard work, saving, and investing, but Magdy finally put together enough money to buy this home in a gated community in the city of Westminster, a quiet town in Orange County, California. The Gurgis family was well on its way to living out the dream Magdy and Ariette had worked so hard to build. But then, on September 29, 2004, all of it came crashing down. Ryan Gurgis, then 17, was out with friends and stayed out later than he was supposed to.
When'd you get home?
Like 1 to 1:30 that night. I slid the back door open and I went upstairs.
His dad was not at home, his brother at work, his mom asleep.
I remember I was fixing up my iPod dock and I fell asleep to music that night. Next thing I know, I hear a door open, and first instinct was that maybe it was my brother.
His older brother, Richard, his best friend and protector, coming home. Or so he thought. But it wasn't Richard.
Kind of looked back, and then that's when I felt like a hand being placed on my mouth. And it was a hand with some type of cotton glove.
Can you see who this is?
I noticed it was a black male that was heavy set. I was yelling for my brother and my mom to help me, and I was really scared.
Ryan says he fought the intruder.
I bit down on the hand, and I rolled off the bed, and then I popped up, and I was shoved into like the wall, and he's telling me to shut up and calm down.
The man put duct tape over Ryan's mouth and started taping his hands and feet together.
And right after that, a second suspect comes inside, and he starts making threats to me like, "Don't get your moms killed, don't get your moms killed."
Don't get your mom killed. That had to be terrifying to hear.
Yeah, I was really terrified.
What did you think was going on?
I didn't know what was going on. I thought maybe it was like a robbery or something.
A terrifying situation was about to get much worse.
Through the hallway, I saw my mom yelling, "Take anything you want, take anything you want." And then after that, I just noticed that the guy was taking my mom away, like towards her bedroom.
Ryan's attacker dragged him into the closet, but then noticed the duct tape was slipping around Ryan's hands.
I heard him taking like some shoestring off of one of my shoes.
Using the shoelace, the man tied Ryan's hands behind his back. Through the closet door, Ryan pleaded with his attacker.
I started telling him, "Please don't kill me, please don't kill me." And I started praying, and during that time, he was like, "I know your circumstances, I know what you're going through, I'm not gonna kill you."
I know your circumstances. Strange as those words sounded, Ryan found them somehow comforting.
And then after that, I started feeling a little bit of a sense of relief.
But then Ryan heard a sound that would come to haunt him.
I heard like a cutting of a sheet, so I thought he was like cutting my sheets up. I didn't know what was going on.
And what was going on was worse than anything he could have imagined.